Hi folks. Well, I'm a little late to the party, but I'm doing some work on my bucket garden. And this is the part I don't like, but of course it has to be done. Now, what I've done here, I've taken all the soil out of my bucket garden from last year. And of course I don't want to buy new soil. I want to reuse this. And what I've done here is I'm adding some, I'm amending the soil. These here are alfalfa pellets, and those damn things are expensive. I'm mixing some alfalfa pellets in there, and I've also got some chicken manure that I've mixed in with it. Now, this was from last year. I had some peat moss and some compost and garden soil, and it also did have some alfalfa pellets in there as well. So I'm really just remixing the same stuff, and I got it all down here on this tarp, and I've got it all mixed together, and I need to put it back in the buckets and get it ready to put some plants in. And I'm gonna have the tomato plants, I'm just gonna buy started plants, and the some of it I'll do from seed, even though it's a little bit late. And over here you can see all my buckets that are all piled up there, and I'm gonna go ahead and refill all these and get them all set back up again with the hose, get it all working again. So that's what I'm up to here, and it's quite a lot of work really to do this. And that's the one thing I don't like about this method of gardening. It really does need to be reworked each and every year. But once it's all set up, it's pretty simple, but it does take quite a lot of work to get everything prepared. So I'm gonna just keep going here, and once I get it all set up, I'll show you what I got going on. So I've got some buckets loaded up. I've got 9 buckets. I could do more. I could do probably 6 more, but I'm not sure if I will. I had a bigger garden last year, but I'm not sure if I'm gonna expand it much more than what we see here. So I'm just checking everything for leaks. I have one plant there, just one poor little baby plant, and that's a stevia plant, or stevia. I'm not really sure how to pronounce that, but everybody says stevia, so I guess I'll say stevia too. But it's I'm just checking it for leaks now. I kind of expect there will be some leaks, but we'll have to see. Now I'm going to show you one other thing here that is the downside of gardening this way. This is one of the planting buckets that I had from last year, and you can see that it's cracked and brittle. And that's the thing about these buckets, is that when they're out in the sun, they will degrade. Now, this has been I've used this now 2 years, this particular bucket, and it could even still be used again this year, because really only the top part of it is brittle. But they do degrade over the years. So you gotta kind of keep that in mind when you're, if you're planning to do this kind of gardening. They will degrade, and they will crack, and they will eventually not be usable. So I've got one that's leaking, and I checked around where the tube fits into the bucket, and there's no leaking in that area, so I'm going to have to guess this bucket is cracked. And that's what I was talking about with these buckets. They will eventually fail, and there's really not a whole lot that can be done about it if you plan to garden this way. These buckets will, over time, degrade. So I'm going to have to switch out that bucket and put something else there, because we can't be having leaks. We just cannot. So here it is, set up once again. I do have a couple of very minor leaks on a couple of these buckets, but it's nothing to worry about. Just a drop every 10 minutes or so, I'd say, and I'm not going to concern myself with that much water. But this other one on the end here, I really had to get replaced, and this is it here. I don't see a crack or anything, so I'm not sure where it's leaking from, but it's coming from somewhere. So here it is set up, but there's no plants in it except for that one. And I'm going to put 4 tomato plants, and I'll put a couple of green pepper plants, and I'm not sure what I'll do with the other buckets. Here we are about an hour and a half later, and it's not leaking. And I checked the soil. I dug down into one of them, and it's nice and moist, not overly moist, in towards the bottom of these buckets. So we're really all set, and all I have to do is get some plants in them, put cages on the tomato plants, and I might put a cover on some of these other plants so that the cats don't go in them, because we have cats roaming around in this neighborhood. So that's it for this video. Thanks for watching.